And just like that, we have a brand new World Baseball Classic champion. Team Venezuela takes the championship home. And we will get to congratulating Team Venezuela, talking about their run. But first, we have to talk about how bad Team USA actually was in this game. What's going on, guys? King of Under 61st Jin. I'm back in another video, and you see the shirt I'm wearing, you see the YouTube channel you're at. This is a Yankee fan channel. I have to cover the monkey in the room at this point, Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge was absolutely horrific in this championship game. Not just the fact that he struck out so many times. It's the fact that there are pitches that were hittable, that he just took. It didn't seem like he was fully locked in this game. He looked flat, and the same thing could be said about the entire team until the 8th inning. Flat, lifeless, almost seemed annoyed to be there. That's what this team acted like in this game. And we'll get to why this is a problem in a second, but I also think the hate specifically on Aaron Judge is getting a little bit insane. Because yes, this championship game was a flop. But let's not act like Aaron Judge isn't one of the main reasons that the United States is in this position because of how well he played, especially defensively, against Dominican Republic. Are we now not including that in big games? And this is not to take away any blame for Aaron Judge in this game. This was a very bad game. But let's not act like this is now included in his reputation as postseason choker when he just succeeded in the ALDS. He just had a good group stage, and his semifinal performance was one of the best on the team that helped them advance. That's all. Now let's get to some of the problems with Team USA as a whole. One, managerial decision making was poor. Very poor in this game. 9th inning comes. You just tied the game because Bryce Harper finally decided to show up, and you do not bring in your best arm because the Padres told you you can only bring him in a save situation. And most creators are saying this at this point, so I'm kind of beating a dead horse, but that is as close to a save situation as you can get. How do you not put in your best arm in the biggest spot in the game? You have last licks. After that, there's no save situations. So what, you're just not going to use him in a championship game? And this is where the main issue for USA comes in. It's mindset. All tournament, it seems like Team USA treated this like an exhibition. They treated this like the All-Star game. They treated this like a sideshow. When Team Dominican Republic, Team Venezuela, even Team Italy for that matter, they were treating this like the most important games they have ever been a part of. And yes, Team USA finally got PR trained and started saying the right things once the knockout stage came. But let's not pretend like we don't remember what Bryce Harper said after the first game of the group stage. This is not the Olympic. All tournament, group stage and knockout stage included, they played with that attitude. This is not where we want to be. We want bigger. We want better. This is the world stage. This is the World Cup of baseball. You've got countries like the Dominican Republic, like the Venezuela, that would rather win this over a World Series. That's how important this tournament is to them. You cannot go into a tournament against teams that are not that far in gap of talent that it makes up for mindset, with a mindset that is way diminished from them, because then you get performances like this. Because one of the big things that came from this that I observed was once Venezuela scored their first run, I think there was still life. But when Willie Abreu hit the home run to put Venezuela up 2, it looked like Team USA checked out. They were done. At that point, they said, okay, it's over. And then they tried getting a little bit more life after that when Bryce Harper decided to hit his home run. And that's where talent almost came through. They almost made up for their terrible mindset with just incredible talent, which is what they've done all tournament long. It seemed like Team USA treated the Dominican Republic game like it was the final. That was the only game that I saw light. That's the only game that I saw a little bit of passion out of this group. And then once they went to Venezuela, they acted like they already won, and they acted like they didn't care to be there. And to go to Team Venezuela, they looked like this meant absolutely everything to them all tournament long. I was there watching their group stage game. It was not much different than how they acted in this knockout stage. That's how much this tournament matters to them. You see Ronald Acuna Jr. in the 9th inning against Team Italy. He is literally sobbing in right field because he knows that if they get these outs, they have punched their ticket to the finals. Punched their ticket to the finals, not even win it. But to get to that point meant so much to Ronald Acuna Jr. Even before the final out, he was sobbing. Team USA just doesn't have that type of drive. Team USA just kind of has this arrogance about them that, like, no matter what happens, our talent is going to come through. We don't really have to care in order to make this happen. But for Venezuela, their talent showed because of their passion. Like I said in yesterday's video, Venezuela was coming up against a pretty big talent gap. But that talent was mitigated because of how much they cared. Ronald Acuna Jr. is one of the best players in baseball. He led the charge, started off the game early, had the same mindset that I said Venezuela needed to have, which was jump on Nolan McLean early. And it didn't work out in the first inning. After Ronald Acuna gets the hit, Michael gets a quick double play, and they're out of that inning. But little by little, jumping on Nolan McLean early ended up paying dividends. So they score in that third inning with the sacrifice fly from Michael Garcia, giving them the 1-0 lead. And then in the fifth, they hit the home run, and that knocks Nolan McLean out of the game. At that point, you did your job. You got to Nolan McLean. You didn't let him go a full 5. Yes, would you have rathered have a little bit more offense at that point? Would you have rathered taken advantage of the leadoff base hit to start the game? Sure. But Venezuela was able to do what they had to do in order to win this game. And you thought that the United States was starting to do what they had to do. When Bryce Harper hits that home run, there's life. There's a little bit. The team's out of the dugout. And although all the celebrations they had were super subdued, there was at least something you could latch onto. But then you start that inning off in the top of the ninth with a single by Luis Ariz. And this was a very risky play by the Venezuelan manager. Pulls Luis Ariz to put Javier Sanoa at first base. Now, if this thing would have went to extras and further in, that call could have bit them in the ass. But Eugenio Suarez comes up and hits a double after a stolen base from Sanoa and gives Venezuela the 3-2 lead, and that's all they needed. And I get it. Garrett Whitlock pitched very well. Garrett Whitlock is a good pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, and so far in the tournament has been doing okay. But not bringing in Mason Miller is a damn shame, and we lost out on what could have been an amazing final inning. But instead, you kind of got a sort of hide behind your hands, sort of peek through moment because you knew that's not your best guy on the mound. You were going up against some of the best guys on Team Venezuela, and that came back to bite Mark DeRosa in the ass. Now, what happens from here? I think Mark DeRosa's gone. I don't think he's going to manage this team again. Optically, it's just not looking good. I know Matt Vasgersian was trying to take some blame for the whole not knowing the situation in the group stage. I get all that, but there's just certain things during this tournament that I don't think Mark DeRosa can make up for, especially for the fact that for the entire tournament, he could not light a fire under this team to save his life. Part of the manager's job is to keep the morale the way it has to be, to keep the team motivated to win these games. But all tournament, this was probably the least motivated team. So Mark DeRosa probably gone. I couldn't tell you the first guy that comes to mind as to who should be the United States manager. That's a wait and see. But Team Venezuela gets to hold the trophy the first time in their country's history, get to go further than their group mate Dominican Republic. Truthfully, I think if they faced Dominican Republic in a second game, it would have been so much better. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about this final? Did you think Aaron Judge choked in this World Baseball Classic? Do you think it's a little overblown? What do you think about Mark DeRosa, Team USA's comments, Team Venezuela coming up big and cashing as a plus 900 underdog, win this tournament? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to be transitioning now into full Yankees baseball within the next couple days. I can't wait for the season to start within the next 10 days. I'll be with you every step of the way. But until next time, I'm out of here. Take care and peace.